welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about this. From Bounding to Comics, Hasbro puts out damage control after Mr. Potato Head disaster. Well, technically this one is a bit really of a disaster, but I'm kind of using it as a segue to actually discuss something quite not entirely different, but related to the entire subject. I'm just going to give it a whirl and say that it was an absolute disaster of what happened. Apparently, Mr. Potato and Mrs. Potato Head is a bad thing. But either way, I'm gonna go and show it to you that the idea, the very concept, the very idea that that multiple genders exist is an absolute and fucking shenanigans. Well, technically, kind of... No, before I go on, I want you to see this. This is a discussion that I'm having, or had, depending if the guy has replied or not, but I haven't checked it yet. My hair is that he even admits himself that the idea of multiple genders is not scientific. So, let's take a look. Let's see, can you see it? Let's zoom out a little. There you go. You won't find a discussion on gender in biology book because it's not a biological concept. Maybe you should have gone to college instead of just trying to buy the books and fake it. And fake it. Well, apparently I went to college and the idea of gender, or multiple genders, is an entirely unscientific concept. It's an entirely retarded concept. But, to make my point, here it is. One of my books, as you noticed, oh, there you go. It's kind of a few books missing because I want to show you guys this. This is the human skull. It's a male human skull, as you can see here. Let's see. There you go. Where is my finger? There you go. Here's my finger. Here's one of the hooks that I keep showing to you guys on the jaws. And then, oops, there you go. It's all reversed. There you go. Now I can see it. This is another hook that illustrates that this skull is a male. You won't find this on a female skull. There's no ifs or buts. You won't find it. Obviously, you can, when you transition from male to female, you can actually go to a surgeon, a plastic surgeon, and they will then file on and try to eliminate those things. But mostly this one over here, they leave it there, it doesn't bother. But this one can affect your whole look on your face, so mostly the surgeons will then try to file that one out. The other problems, other things, let's see here. What page was it? Is it the first one? Or this one is there? There you go. Here. This is from my college studies. There you go. Here is the skull. It looks, to me, I think it's a Caucasian, based on the picture, or a mix. But as you can see here, it's not going to be too visible. I probably should have used the other picture, but either way, here, all this area over here, it ends up getting bubbles a little bit. This illustrates that you're also a male. This area here and here, they usually do that on when you transition from male to female, they actually do file it out. But those are the things, although this is also part of the respiratory system, even here. That's why when you have your nose is congested, sometimes you feel pain over here as well. Either way, these are the things that you cannot change in on itself without severe surgery, but it's just evidence, more and more evidence, that multiple genders do not exist, that you are either male or female. And the idea of saying that there are multiple genders, furry gender diseases, or a multitude of stupid concepts, it's kind of pissing on the concept of transgenders. It's kind of an insult to them, in that they go through a lot of pain and suffering just to transition from one gender to another, and And then you come on in and say, there's multiple genders, guys. That's just insulting. Oh, and by the way, this is the title of the book. There you go. Human from Pearson's Hill. No, not Pearson's Hill. Jesus Christ, Pearson's. Why am I thinking of Hill? Oh no. And here I'm going to go with another. Yes, this one is going to be a slightly bit of a long video. So sit back and relax, boys. Here is come the instructions of your favorite teacher. Or a wannabe teacher. Well, I'm as much of a teacher as I am a doctor and a comedian, so... Get it? And this one is from another book. Wonders. Human Physiology. Mechanism of the body. Function. And here we go. One of my toilet markings. What? Are you telling me that you don't study when you go take a dump? That you don't read your stuff when you're taking a dump? Oh my! Well, is it just me? Okay. Is it just me then? Okay, let's see. Where's the page? Oh, here it is! Sex determination. I'm gonna show it to you guys later on. First, I'm gonna read it and then I'm gonna show it to you. Genetic inheritance sets the gender of the individual, or sex determination, which is established at the moment of fertilization. Gender is determined by genetic inheritance of two chromosomes called sex chromosomes. You know, the XX, XY. The larger of the sex chromosomes is called the X chromosome, and the smaller the Y chromosome. Males possess one X and one Y, whereas females have two X chromosomes. Thus, the genetic difference between male and female, note their gender over here, genotype, is simply the difference in one chromosome. Exactly. But there are obviously the things that will later on, oops, I forgot to show it to you guys. Later on, it will be covered. Let's see, camera. See, that's the entire paragraph that I just read. Sex determination. See? Later on, obviously the book will then go on and cover the genetic defects and birth defects. For instance, when you're developing as a male, but suddenly there's a huge influx of progesterone or some other hormone, female hormone, and estrogen or progesterone, or something like that. No, not progesterone. Yeah. And then suddenly your development of your testes kind of get stuck in the middle. And that's called a birth defect. That does not mean you're not male. It just means you had a birth defect. That's it. No, doesn't mean there's another gender, that you're another gender, or something like that. Nothing of the sort. And there's also the fact that there are multiple situations where there's also genetic defects. When there's in the conception or something bad happens, etc. Suddenly, you're a male with two X chromosomes. You may have some mental retardation, or may not, but they're mostly normal individuals, mentally talking. You're still a male. You're not some third gender. You don't necessarily... For you to have another gender, you will need to prove that this is absolutely necessary for mankind's reproduction as a species. That it is necessary for us to propagate as a species. That's complete and total utter bullshit. It doesn't exist. For instance, you could, if in certain situations, be XYY. Obviously, you will be called a super male. Or in situations like this that happened in the past, it gave us various myths around on multiple things or stories in the past, like the trolls or the giants and things like that. They usually are taller and more muscular, but they are absolutely retarded. That's you can even see examples of that on the movie 300. You can see that on the armies of Persia. where they have multiple lot taller people, and that's usually means the individual is an XYY. Those are the things that generate a lot of stories and things like that, but that does not mean you're not a male or a female, or that you're a third gender. Third gender is another bullshit concept. Now I'm gonna go to another book. Who knew? I prepared myself for this. This one is even heavier. I'm running out of space around here. Alright, this one is from Pearson's International Human Anatomy and Physiology. From Mariab Ahoen, and we call it the Mariab book. Mariab, Human Physiology. There you go. Those things were heavy to carry sometimes back at college. Where was it? There you go. Determination of genetic sex. Aristotle believed that the heat of lovemaking determined maleness. Not so. Genetic sex is determined at the instant the genes of the sperm combine with those of an ovum. And determining factor is the sex chromosome. Each gamete contains sex chromosomes. Each gamete contains. Shit. I fucked that one up. Of the 46 chromosomes in the fertilized egg, one pair are sex chromosomes. The other 44 are called autosomes. The 2 times blah blah blah. It just explains. Let's go on. The body cells of females have 2 X chromosomes and are designated XX. The ovum resulting from a normal meiosis in the female always contains an X chromosome. Males have 1 X chromosome and 1 Y chromosome, and obviously it goes on and on about this, finishing with a single gene on the Y chromosomes. The SRY gene is the master switch that initiates testis development and hence maleness. Thus, the father determines the genetic sex of the offspring, and subsequent events of sexual differentiation depend on which gonads are formed during embryonic life. Mutations of the SRY gene can result in XY females with the male chromosome but female sex characteristics. These are the birth defects that I've shown it to you. For instance, multiple situations that can cause this. You may look like an intersex, you may look completely feminine, but you're still a male. Sorry, that's called the genetic defects, and that means in most situations the person is barren, or as in they cannot reproduce. Obviously, then they go on and talk about Klinefelter syndrome and a multitude of other things. And lastly, the other book that I had separated until I remembered that I had the other one, it was to talk about the multiple skull features. This one, adult male. This one, the picture is not that great, but here you go. See, human bone. That's the book. So now you know, science is undeniable. Science tells you to go fuck yourself with your 3rd gender, 4th gender, 5th gender, multiple of infinite genders bullshit. Because quite frankly, if you believe in that nonsensical bullshit, you're a pseudoscientific peddling moron. Seriously, stop with your anti-scientific bullshit. I nearly fell down. Oh, that was a lot of weight for knowledge. Okay, so just go on and show it to you somewhat the article that I used to start this discussion. Hold that thought, your main spud, Mr. Potato Head, isn't going anywhere. While it was announced today that Potato Head brand name and logos are dropping the Mr., I am proud to confirm that Mr. and Mrs. Potato aren't going anywhere and will remain Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. Well, I do not give a shit. Stop peddling, stop pandering to the 0.005% of the population who are absolutely fucking insane and absolutely think that there are multiple genders. Stop it! Enough already! And obviously there's damage control from the Quartering who says that And other people, the virtual signaling backfired. Oh no. Yes, it backfired, because apparently, as another person pointed out in the article, there are no 3 years old browsing on Twitter for you to make any difference with the virtual signaling. These people really irritate me, and the problem is that Hasbro is doing this mostly because they are afraid of the pronoun mafia, the pronoun mob, of getting cancelled. Because this is kind of a way of them paying them tribute so they do not go and vandalize their brand. That's how it works with these imbeciles. Y'all ruined D&D, cancel my favorite MTG painter. Honestly, you can take both of these toys and launch them directly up your potato holes. Well, I think I'm gonna echo this message, and you can go and shove Mr. Potato Head up your fucking bunhole and let it get stuck in there. Either way, let's go. Alright, what happened to 3-year-olds who play with toys not on Twitter to celebrate change? Absolutely agreed. That's the person who I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, and I absolutely agree. What an absolute shit show that has been this change. God damn it, these people are retarded. Why did they think this would be a good idea? The other imbecile might have had best around. We're no longer calling them Mr. Potato, we're calling them Potato Head. Except that we are no longer. Good lord! Making sure to feel welcome in the Potato Head world by officially dropping. Is making the original press release also say the name change will come with a fresh branding look with a whimsical color palette. Palette. A more inclusive messaging. Go fuck yourself. You know, it's disheartening to see people buckling to these pronoun mafia. Quite disheartening. I actually had to go on and explain this to people on a goddamn fucking YouTube video. No one would have thought that these imbeciles would have paid attention when they were studying back in school. Junior high, high school, even lower. Those are the things that even parents tell you. You know, the bees and the birds, story, things like that. Don't they teach that to you kids? Well, obviously some of these are absolutely imbecilic millennials. That means they are from my generation, and that means that my generation failed, and it's now passing it on to Generation Z, which in fact are failing as well. Congratulations. Wonderful. Oh, and by the way, it's actually quite entertaining because these books are for a degree that I cannot even use in this goddamn country because there's no job for it. Every time you try to apply it, somebody with an extra connection here or there takes up your slot. Or in my case, it gets passed on for minorities. First for indigenous, then the other indigenous population, then the other people of other colors, and then women, and then lastly me. So I am always at the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. Even though I might be more qualified than a few of those other imbeciles, and at least have a better work ethic than many of those retards that get hired. But then again, hell, would you like some fries with that patty? Because when you live in a third world shithole ruled by socialism and pondered by critical race theory, you are pretty much on the losing end of everything. Meritocracy is long gone. Anyway, if you like the content of this video, so please share and subscribe because YouTube absolutely hates my bunghole. It hates my ballsack, my scrotum as well. So it throttles and slows down my videos and it doesn't show up as suggestions to anybody else. So please share. I appreciate your sacrifice for me, especially because after I sacrificed myself for you just now. And on that, As well, I'd like to announce that you can actually watch more edgy content on minds.com/Dr. Jester. I'm trying Rumble, but Rumble is being a piece of shit. It doesn't even monetize any of the videos I've uploaded to them. It says monetization pending. Go fuck yourself. I'm gonna give it a chance once more today before I give up and try again in a couple of months. So, anyway, edgy content, minds.com/Dr. Jester, current content, youtube.com/Dr. Jester. Got it? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Good night.